Hi everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday the 13th of March. Thanks for joining me. I want to use the Morgan Greer Tarot for today's reading. This is, I think, the second deck I ever got, and this is the one I got, and it's in perfect condition. I've always liked these cards just because of the close-up and the simplicity. It really allows you to kind of get an intuitive message along with the card. So let's see what the Tarot wants you to be aware of here on Monday the 13th and what the day is going to look like. Okay, so first card is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so a karmic day where you can change the course of your destiny. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's really what the Wheel of Fortune is, about taking charge of your life and saying, this is the right direction I'm going in. Then we've got the Fool. So it is all about journeys and new beginnings and the conception of new ideas. And finally, the Two of Swords. So there's a great sense and a great desire to move forward, even if you don't have all the information. And usually that causes problems. And it's even demonstrated how that causes problems by the Fool. He's got his little lunch pack and he's going off on a journey, but unfortunately there's a cliff there. He's looking up at the clouds and he usually takes a tumble off the cliff, or he's about to take a tumble. So the thing about the Fool is it's this eternal ability for all of us to start over and to say, okay, I don't really care about the disaster of the last 10 years. Right now, in this moment, this really interests me and I want to do something with it. I want to explore it. And we all, it's like, what is it, Pandora's box? All the horrors were released, but at the bottom of the box was hope. And by the way, thanks to the person in the comments who told me that, because I talked about that recently and I didn't even mention the hope at the bottom. And that's the same with the Fool. It's like, even if things haven't worked out and I've fallen off the cliff 10 times, I'm still going to go on adventures. And that, in one way, may seem foolish, but in another way, it's really reassuring that we're all going to pick ourselves up, whether we want to or not, simply because it's part of our nature. To me, that's very reassuring. Okay, so we've got the Wheel of Fortune, 10th card in the Major Arcana, and it's a crossroads. There's a decision to be made. Do I let myself sit on this wheel and be turned round by life and destiny and just sometimes fly off when the hand decides and sometimes enjoy being on top when the hand decides? Or do I become the hand that turns the wheel? And if you become the hand, then obviously you have a lot more control over your life and the different spokes, so the different aspects of your life, you spin them in whatever direction you want them. If you want them on top and you want to focus and you want to enjoy that, or you want something else down here because you're not that interested. So the Wheel of Fortune on this day is a prompt to remember who you are really, and to kind of remember that no matter what happens, you always keep going. Always. You've never stopped until this day, and you won't either. So first of all, that realization is what makes you become the hand. It's like, I know I'm going to keep going with my life. I know that I've been super invested in my own process, whether I've had all the information or not. And as long as I make myself the priority in my life and I treat myself kindly, then I'm doing the turning in a way that's good and steady and consistent. So also with this 10 here, I always look at it as a path. You're walking up this path and you've got a choice, left, right, straight on. And it's only if you're in control that you can make a choice. If you're not walking, you're not going to get to the crossroads. Anyway, I think I've made the point. The Fool then is the number 0 in the Major Arcana, because it comes before, or it's the very, very beginning of the Fool's journey. It's the idea that I want to have a journey. So that sense of, okay, I have a whole life ahead of me, regardless of where I'm at, that's something you can tap into. So if you've been feeling like, I'm just going through the motions, or I have no idea what I really want, or I'm kind of bored with my life, I want to experience something thrilling and new, this is really the perfect day to say, okay, how can I take the blindfold off, inform myself, and go on this new journey? I have to correct myself there, I think. The desire to go on the new journey will arise. So I don't think you need to do a lot of searching for that. That sense of friction, or like, you know, being on the edge of your seat is there. And then you're able to inform yourself to see how you can walk this journey so that you put a bridge down and you don't fall off the cliff, metaphorically. Preparation plus motivation equals success and good fortune. So this card, this is a minor arcana card. These are two majors. So this is the big theme of the day, this whole thing about you and your life. The Two of Swords is in the element of air, and air has to do with communication, ideas, understanding, learning, teaching, researching. And this woman has got two swords. She's got her arms crossed. God, I can't say that. She's got her arms folded across her chest with the two swords in this defensive pose. And she's got the blindfold on, so she feels apprehensive and defensive because she doesn't know what the information is. So she's expecting the worst. She's dreading it. So she's defending herself in anticipation of what's to come. The reality is she's got all this water behind her and the moon, so she can still use her intuition, or she's forced to use her intuition. So that's something that will help you. It won't just be information that you read via the vocational counselor, for example. It's also things that you feel. That's the Fool emerging from your feelings, from within. But what she's able to do then, she's able to, if she stops being so defensive and apprehensive and paralyzed with fear, and she actually just moves her arm a little bit, and this is very dangerous, no wonder she doesn't do it, she's able to get rid of one of these blindfolds. Either she's able to, you know, pull it off or cut it off or whatever, which, I mean, you could also get an eye out doing that. So no wonder she's apprehensive, but there's room, and again, hope, that things will make sense. Ultimately, the main thing to pursue is the motivation. The information will come after. Don't let fear stop you. So it's really, these kind of things are incredibly important because it's very youthful, and it's that kind of energy that can build something solid and meaningful. Number-wise, we've got 10 and 2 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. And 3 in numerology is communication and new beginnings. So that's where it's at today, new beginnings, and making sure that you're in this position, not up there. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with here on Monday. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. And I use astrology, the tarot, numerology, and my intuition in my personal readings. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, order a chart rectification with me. That's a process where I manually work out your time of birth. And once I have that info, then I can draw up your birth chart, which really tells me a great deal about you. So if you have any questions about certain areas of your life or what's coming up in future, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.